two-wheel talk idea, we have discussed, let's see, I talked about a little bit about me, kind of my testimony and my life as a Christian, and then, see, previously to this, we've got kind of just thoughts, just some thoughts on struggles and what that entails. So, about, I don't know, this seems to be a topic around, at least that I've been catching with people here recently, but relationships. Ooh, yeah, relationships. So, we have all kinds of relationships. We have, you have family relationships, you have work relationships, school relationships, you've got relationships at church, you have, oh hey, they're turning. You have all kinds of relationships, and we were designed to have that. We were designed to be in relationship. So with that kind of little key factor in mind, the fact that we were designed to be in relationship, that's why community is such an important thing. That's why more often than not, people can't survive just lone rangering, either physically, like in a wilderness scenario. I mean, you can, but it's incredibly difficult and not likely. Mentally not being in relationship with or in community is just exhausting. You know, when you don't have people around. We're designed to have relationships. So the problem though is the system is broken. The sort of, I guess, relationship community system is broken, and so coming at it from my perspective, sin enters the world, and now everything's flawed, everything's broken, and so it's now it's we have our own interest in mind, or we're trying to get what we can out of relationships. You see it all the time. You have a guy and a girl get into a relationship, and the guy's looking for really one thing, and the girl is just trying to she's looking for approval and validation, and the guy's just like, he's a physical creature, so he's just trying to meet those needs. It's like not even needs really at that point. He's just trying to get what he wants. And that's just one sort of vague example, but of how it's broken. And so unfortunately we have unhealthy relationships, relationships that are hurtful and damaging. Sometimes are very volatile. I know a lady who, though now she is, happily married and doing absolutely well, leading up to where she is now, she was in a relationship that the guy was just insanely abusive, so that's a quick peek at just how things can be messed up, and so if we're designed to be in that relationship and we desire that relationship and that community, when you have got something that's broken, trying to fix it, force its way. I mean, it's not gonna work. So to kind of keep going on the relationship idea, I know growing up I had a lot of people that, and this is not me bashing dating or anything of, with people that do date, but all I knew is, because everybody I knew, especially coming through high school and into college, it was like, how are you gonna know that it's the right person if you don't date around? How do you know you're not gonna find what you like? And how do you know if you're gonna be able to kiss if you don't, kiss a bunch of girls? And well, how do you know what you're gonna be like in bed if you don't sleep with people? And I'm like, I don't need to do that. It's in my mind, it's like, I don't have to try on your dirty underwear to know that your underwear is dirty. I just don't need to do that. I don't need to chew everybody else's chewing gum to realize that there's no flavor. And so maybe that's a little harsh or extreme, but that's kind of how it feels. It's like, you bounce around from one relationship to the next trying to, try everybody else on. I mean, and that's just, it's not healthy, because, okay, when you finally wind up with, the person, that you're supposed to be with, now what do you have to offer? Now you've given away everything to half the world, and you left, maybe a little bit for the person that you want to be with the rest of your life. And I would wager that, waiting for that person, yeah, it's hard. I know it is hard. But waiting for that person and valuing that relationship, even though you may not have it at the moment, it makes such a big difference in the long run. Because now that person can have all of you. Now you can have a deeper intimacy, and I don't mean that as like sex. I mean like just the connection that you have mentally and spiritually, and then of course physically. Like, it can be so much closer and so much deeper, and have so much more value to it. But anyway, so it's just something that I think about every once in a while, and as I mentioned, it's a topic that has come up quite often here in the last few days, because I've got friends and family with relationships that are hard, that are not healthy sometimes, or relationships that looked like they were healthy and things were wrong. And I can't solve it, I can't fix it. What I can do is to be the positive influence to those around me, to try and have a healthy relationship with people. And the fact is, I mean, we're people, we're not perfect. Sometimes things just, attitudes get in the way, frustrations, whatever, but I think our relationships and things like that, some things kind of flow out from the heart, so anyway, but we're designed to be in relationship, we're designed to be in community, and honestly, without God at the center, without that relationship with Christ, it's really hard to find that value and to really know what a meaningful relationship is. So I don't know, maybe in another video we'll dive in just a little deeper into the subject, but you know, you don't have to go out and pursue a whole bunch of different things, you know, as far as dating, relationships and stuff. And like I said, I'm not bashing it, but I'm just saying you don't have to go out and try out every single person out there. But you know, to also thinking along that line of relationships, though, like, you know, look at the relationships you have around you, and how are you contributing to those? How are you investing? You know, are you having? We all have an influence one way or another, and what kind of influence are you having? And so, and my biggest thing is, do you have a relationship with Jesus Christ? Like, that is the most important, most valuable relationship you can have, and that would be my hope and my prayer, is that you would have that relationship and get to experience the peace and the joy, and everything that comes with it. So anyway, I'm gonna get off and try and get through traffic here. So thanks for listening. You guys have a wonderful day, and like I said, just you know, think about those relationships that you have, and the impact you're having in those. And you know, like I said, my hope and prayer is that you would have that relationship with Christ and be able to really know peace and truth and love and hope. And so anyway, but like I said, I'm gonna get off and continue on. So there's the two-wheel talk for today or this week or whatever. But we'll have more coming up. So anyway, you guys have a good afternoon, good day, good evening, good night, good morning, whatever it happens to be where you're at, and pray that you're doing well. So anyway, you guys have a good one, be blessed, and I'll catch you guys later.